Hi, Anson Garcia here, and today we are going to be looking at Cisco Directory Connector, specifically an upgrade to Cisco Directory Connector. So something really neat happened over the course of while I was on vacation. I started getting these messages that my Cisco Directory Connector needed to be upgraded. Now, it needed to be upgraded primarily because of TLS 1.0 and 1.1 not being supported anymore by Cisco, the Webex Teams cloud. So this goes to that kind of power in the cloud. You know, these things are kind of automated. They're going to let you know. So one really neat thing. This is the second time, so I'm going to kind of bring you in along with me to upgrade this thing. I have done it one time before. I had to upgrade, and that was months ago. So you're going to kind of go with me as we fumble through this thing and see how hard it is. One thing I can tell you that's new that I really like is the organization admin and the particular domain admins started getting messages, and I'm going to show you that, what I actually started getting. And just real quick, for those of you that don't know and need a little summary, you can go back and look at another video I have on Cisco Spark Hybrid or Webex Teams Hybrid. But real quick, just so you know what Directory Connector is, if you choose to continue to watch this video, Cisco Directory Connector runs on a Windows machine, a VM or whatever. So we have Windows over here. And then what it does is go out to the cloud. We have the internet out here. And then you have, Webex Teams cloud, collaboration cloud, whatever you want to call it. And then inside Webex Teams or Cisco Collaboration Cloud, there is a directory in here of users. So usually we have on-prem over here. Let's say this is on-prem, or it could be Office 365 also, but on-prem, let's say we have an AD server or an AD infrastructure, and we need to get those users, right? We have user 1, user 2, all the way to user, 20,000 or whatever. Let's say 1,000. Those users and some of the attributes need to be synchronized up into the Webex Teams directory. And so how do we do that? Well, we run this Cisco Directory Connector on a Windows PC, and that little application that sits on here goes out, connects up securely up to the Webex Teams Collaboration Cloud, and then synchronizes the Active Directory users into Webex Teams. So then you have all those same users that are on-prem or in your directory, and then you have them synced up so you can light them up, turn them up. And this is exactly kind of how, if you're familiar with Office 365, they have a very similar concept where you have an AD infrastructure on-prem, and usually people like to keep that AD infrastructure on-prem. They expand on it, they expand the schema, they like all their password policies and everything, and they like that on-prem. If they do that, they can also synchronize with Office 365 with the Azure Directory Synchronization, which is very similar to this. So Cisco just came out with something similar, except it connects up to their cloud and synchronizes your on-prem directory users into the cloud. So that's just a small little summary. If you want to know more about it, check out one of my other videos. But let's get started here. So first I want to show you this particular person here, which is Anson Garcia, is a domain admin. In other words, if I would go into, let's go into the Webex Teams Control Hub, and if I look at users, take a look at some users over here, and if I look at Anson Garcia user right here and look at his roles in security, he is a full admin. So anyone with full admin, and this is that change that happened, anyone with full admin, as well as the org admins, if you know what those are, that's kind of above you as a customer, the org admin will start getting these messages in their Teams client. Okay, so what happened in my Teams client was I started getting these, go back to the Teams client, and here's Anson. I started getting these messages. All of a sudden, a space was created, or a one-to-one chat, one-to-one space, and I started getting these nasty grams. Hey, you need to upgrade. You need to start doing something with Directory Connector. So you as an admin or your admins within our customer space are going to start getting anything that's real critical that needs to be upgraded and takes customer touch points or Verizon touch points. If we're selling a Flex deal or we're taking care of their Spark, their Webex environment, we're going to start getting these messages that, hey, something needs to be done, we need some interaction. So that's a great thing from Cisco that was added just recently. So it tells you exactly, and it gives you some links here on exactly what to do. So it tells you, hey, we have to address some security concerns. TLS 1.0 and 1.1 need to be upgraded, and you need this version now. So let's continue on and see what I've already got these URL links pulled up, and let's take a look at what they say. Okay, now I'm looking at another administrator. Just so happens this one is also named Anson Garcia, but Anson Garcia 2. I'll show you that right here. Anson Garcia 2. It's a different user, but if we take a look here, we get the same space that was created. So it's telling all admins for this domain. And then we click these links and it's going to take us to the deployment guide. This deployment guide then is going to show us things that were released, what changes were made, and what dates to these particular versions. Also in the deployment guide, we're going to get an upgrade, how to upgrade the connector. So it's going to clue us in. It's going to take us right there where we need to be at to go ahead and do this upgrade. So Cisco's trying to make it very easy, and they're doing a great job at this. Okay, and then we also have software upgrade release notes for each particular version. Okay, now again, I haven't done this prior. It's been probably 6-8 months since I've done this, and I've since forgot what has to be done. So again, I'm going to take you through, and we're going to see how hard it is to do this. Now, I'm not totally green behind the ears. I know where Cisco Directory Connector is, and I know that I installed it on this particular machine and things like that. But it would be indicative, this would be indicative of a regular administrator or any one of our customers, or if we're doing this for you, you'll know the process here. Okay, so let's go back. It kind of tells me what to do here, and I got like 4 things to do. No big deal. All right, it says from the Cisco Directory Connector, click Dashboard, go to Actions, Synchronization Mode, and then I'm going to disable synchronization. Okay, fair enough. I've already got that up, and basically when you install this installs as an application. It comes up and you actually authenticate to the cloud. So right prior to this coming up, in fact, why don't we do that? I want to show you everything. I'm going to sign out here. All right, and I'm just going to show you, we'll show you the whole enchilada here. So I'm going to go here. This is the machine I installed Directory Connector on. It's on my customer premise, and I got that little icon that's going to bring up Cisco Directory Connector, and then the first thing to ask me is to authenticate to the cloud. So this is very much like Azure Directory Connector, Directory Sync they call it. So I need to make sure that I log in here as an administrator, as a domain administrator, which I will do. Okay, and what it does is launch that application here locally on this computer or on this virtual machine. Okay, now it told me to go to my dashboard, go to Actions, and Synchronization Mode, and I believe it said disable synchronization, I believe. It might have been, I had already disabled it, so let me re-enable it, or I had paused it. And let's go back, make sure we're doing the right thing here. I think it was this one right here. Okay, we're going to disable. All right, we'll disable it. Actions, synchronization mode. It didn't want me to pause. It wanted me to disable. Okay, let's see what happens. Disable, yes. All right, it stopped. The next item it wants me to do is either click on the notification or right-click on the icon in the taskbar to start the upgrade process. All right, notification. I didn't see a notification or taskbar. Okay. I don't see a notification here anywhere. We can go to the taskbar and it said right mouse click. Check for updates, I assume, is what it's wanting. And a newer version, would you like to download? Sure thing. That's what I want to do. Alright, I'll pause the video for a minute. Okay, we're back here, and it said, it gives me next. I click next, I accept. Alright, let's go ahead and do that. Pretty hands off. It looks like it closed the application for me. Completed, alright. See if it launches. Maybe it won't launch for me, so let's go ahead and launch it manually. Let's see what it said over here. Okay, right mouse click, follow the instructions to complete the process, and then next, when the upgrade process is complete, you can verify the version number of the software. If the upgrade fails, okay, I think kind of left a step out there because it didn't launch automatically or tell me to log back in, but we'll go ahead and we know what to do. Okay, I was at version, and I didn't show you that, but I was at version 2 dot something. So we want to be at 3 now. Okay, we're going to bind to an existing domain. Absolutely. Looks like it's almost doing like a new connection to the domain. Okay, it picked up that it was stopped before. Connector is good. All right, let's go ahead and actions and enable. Okay, it wants us to do a dry run. Let's see what happens. Okay, I can immediately see that it's a new version because it looks a little bit different. The graphics are definitely different. The UI is a little bit different. You still got some tabs up here and things like that. All right, so everything seems to be okay. There's my dry run, and I can tell this UI is just a little bit different. And it's just telling me that, you know, nothing's been added, everything matches. In other words, there was already a synchronization done and nothing's been changed. So this is just my little report here. Okay, your system is ready, synchronization, or you can enable later by actions. Okay, sure, we want to go ahead and fire it up. And let's just perform, let's see if we can perform a full, yeah, just to do a full one, just I just want to see a real one, not a dry run, be successful, just to make sure everything's okay. And while that's running, we'll go to help here. I wish I would have brought this up before, but I know I was at 2 dot something, and now we're at 3.01. Okay, and now we fully support TLS 1.2, and what has happened in the background, we've turned off TLS 1.0, 1.1, and I suppose that any encryption ciphers, any medium strength encryption ciphers have been yanked out as well. So it looks like everything was good, everything's nice. Let's go look at our control hub over here and make sure everything looks good over here as well. Go to settings, and we will go down to directory, Okay, operational, everything's good. You could also turn it off from here as well. If you turn it off from here, you still have to bring up the on-prem Cisco Directory Connector and log in and start it. So it's like you can turn it off from either the cloud or the application itself that is on-prem connected to your Active Directory. So that is it. That's how easy it is to upgrade Cisco Directory Connector to the latest version. And this applies also if there's any problems. There's always updates and things and fixes for this directory connector, maybe having problems or any security concerns that are discovered. This is the way to upgrade it, and it's that easy. I hope this has been helpful and informative, and thanks for watching.